All right, we're here post-game after the Yellow Jackets beat the Wilmington Quakers by a final score of 84-74. And Coach Cheri Harrer in the middle. To Coach's left is Gabby Garrett. To Coach's right, LIlly Edwards. Coach, a 10-point win. You had a lead as big as 25 and had to fight through to the finish. We'll start with your opening comments on the game.
At least we found a way to win this time. That's happened to us the last 2 games, and we self-destructed, and we were on the verge of self-destruction this time, but we're able to find a way to pull it out. And the free throw line certainly was huge. Definitely a lot of places that we can improve, but we found a way to get a win. And in this league, anytime you get a win, it's a good thing.
21 of 22 from the free throw line. Gabby, let's start with you. A career high today, I think it was 16 points total, and you had 4 3-pointers. What kind of rhythm did you feel that you got in early in the game that all of a sudden things just sort of came to you?
I would say it all came from my teammates. Early on, I missed the layup, and I kind of hung my head a little bit. But thanks to Coach and the rest of my teammates, everyone picked me up, and we always talk about positive body language, and that was a big key for everyone, I think. That helped us turn the game around and to our favor. So yeah, I'd say energy from everyone else is really what got me going, I think.
LIlly, how about on your end? 20 points now, the third time in your career you've had a 20-point game. And it felt like there were a couple of different times where Wilmington might want to be physical instead of playing with their guards, and you sort of, kiboshed that, if you were, a little bit. So where did you feel you kind of got in a rhythm early in the game?
Oh my gosh. That was a good question. Okay, I guess I got in a rhythm by, it was really important to us today, and we had an emphasis on getting stops. So I think the momentum push after getting a couple stops really early is what gave me the confidence and the comfort to really take it to them inside. But it all just came from us playing really good defense today more than anything else.
Question for each of you on the fact that at different points over the last several months, some in season, some out of season, you've dealt with some injuries. How you've been able to work through those, not just physically but mentally, to stay sharp and be ready for the moment.
I think a lot of that comes from practice, just staying focused. Although we both went through injuries, we both were very focused during practice. We were trying to do the things that we could. Oftentimes Coach would yell at us and tell us we weren't allowed to do those things, but we just tried to get back as soon as possible, and we stayed focused. We added a couple plays when we both were out, and we both focused in and made sure that we knew them, so that when we were ready to go again, it was just like before.
Yeah, a lot of the energy to come back came from our teammates, because you could tell that every practice, every time we were together, they just wanted us to be on the floor with them. And I think that was more encouraging than anything else, that it really truly is a team effort, and it's not the same unless everyone's on the floor. So.
Coach, Wednesday will officially be the halfway point for conference play. So you're well more than halfway through the season, but it'll be your 9th of the 18 league games. I realize we're not quite to Wednesday yet, but how would you assess where you think this team is so far through the first 8?
Boy, that's a tough one. If you would have asked me after the first 4 and after you asked me now, probably 2 different answers. That I'm not sure how to answer it. We were talking beforehand. It's like, as coaches, we get kind of nervous because we're not sure what to expect from our team. And I don't know if some of that's the injuries, where we haven't necessarily had the same roster all the time. All I know is we need to be consistent. And if we're consistent in our effort and in what we want to do, we can play with anybody in this league, even without Hannah Fecht. And obviously we miss Hannah. We miss Hannah a bunch. But the reality is we don't have Hannah. And so we just need everybody to step up, be the best they can be, and I think we can still compete. Will we win? I don't know. It depends on how well we play. But no doubt we can compete with everybody. And in this league, I said at the beginning of the year when we were picked first, obviously we had Hannah when we were picked first, but I said it then, there are 7 or 8 teams that could win this league. And I still believe that at the halfway point. Just so, look at the scores the last week and a half. Anything can happen, and we just got to go game by game. And the next one up is John Carroll, and we just have to be the best we can be Wednesday.
LIlly, for you in particular, kind of backing off Coach's point, as of this moment, there are 5 teams in the league that are 4-4 through their first 8 games in conference. There's a couple teams that are just, a game or 2 above 500. What have you learned about the league here in your freshman year?
That you can't take anyone for granted, and the standings do not matter at all. And we learned that the hard way the last couple games. I think more than anything else, I found out how every single game you have to come with your A game. It's so competitive. and it all comes down to possessions. You really can't take any possessions off, because as we found out the last couple of games, like, any possession can be the difference in the game, and anyone can win it. As what Coach said, there's like 8 teams in the league, and any of them could win it at this point. Yeah, just more than anything else, I've just learned that you have to give it your all every single time, because it's really anyone's game.
Gabby, you've seen John Carroll a couple times, and yes, it's another team in the league, but they are the rival. What would you tell some of your younger teammates who haven't played in that rivalry game about what to expect, the emotions of playing in that game?
I think it is a OAC game, but it's like totally different. I'd go back to like a rival in high school, but magnify that by like 10. I think just because it's cross town too. They come here and play hard. Last year, I don't know their record last year, but like we didn't think, I think they were bottom, but they played hard against us, and it was another OAC game. Like, it's not anything you can take for granted, and this year they're playing very well. They were young, so now they have some playing under their belt, so it's going to be a tough one, I think, but if we pull together and play together and do the things that we practice and play how we practice, I think we should be good.
Coach, I'll ask you the last question, and it's similar, about managing emotions playing in a rivalry game. You whether it's John Carroll or Mount Union or Ohio Northern, especially in this league, you've been a part of some pretty fun, heated, intense rivalry games over the years. How do you try to have your team take on your personality of being aggressive but staying within themselves in those big moments?
Yeah, all we can do is continue to talk about it. I can't get out there. All I can do is try to teach them how to manage their emotions, I need to try to stay calm. And at the same time, it's a tricky thing. We talk about positive energy, and sometimes when you go with the positive energy, it's easy to go to the valley too instead of being even keel. So the trick is being up, but not letting it go below even keel to the down. And that's a hard thing to do. That's not human nature, and that's what we have to continue to work on.